So I was looking at this book by C.S. Lewis. It is Letters to Malcolm, chiefly on prayer. This was published, I believe, 6 months before he died. And it is a collection of letters that he wrote to, I believe Malcolm was fictional, correct me if I'm wrong. With all C.S. Lewis's works, I find it brainy, for lack of a better word, but it's so theological in points that sometimes I have a hard time grasping it. So dipping into his books just to glean what I can is helpful, even if I don't read it from cover to cover. It's one I picked up at a used book sale, and I really kind of gravitate to his books just to have them, so in chance that I want to, again, dip into his work, I have it. So this one, I thought I'd share. This is a nice little snippet on thanks. Again, this is on prayer. I've tried since that moment to make every pleasure into a channel of adoration. I don't mean simply by giving thanks for it. One must, of course, give thanks, but I mean something different. How shall I put it? We can't, or I can't, hear the song of a bird simply as a sound. Its meaning or message, that's a bird, comes with it inevitably, just as one can't see a familiar word in print as a merely visual pattern. The reading is as involuntary as the seeing. When the wind roars, I don't just hear the roar, I hear the wind. In the same way, it is possible to read as well as to have a pleasure, or not even as well as. The distinction ought to become, and sometimes is impossible, to receive it and to recognize its divine source as a single experience. This heavenly fruit is instantly redolent of the orchard where it grew. This sweet air whispers of the country from whence it blows. It is a message. We know we are being touched by a finger of that right hand at which there are pleasures forevermore. There need be no question of thanks or praise as a separate event, something done afterwards. To experience the epiphany is itself to adore. Gratitude exclaims very properly, how good of God to give me this. Adoration says, what must be the quality of that being whose far off and momentary coruscations are like this? One's mind runs back up the sunbeam to the sun. If I could always be what I am at being, no pleasure would be too ordinary or too usual for such reception. From the first taste of the air when I look out of the window, one's whole cheek becomes a sort of pallet down to one's soft slippers at that time.